Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogmas day 8. So as you guys can see by the title of the video, this is basically just gonna be like a little chit chat video, if you will, because one, I've always wanted to do one of these. Two, because I feel like I owe you guys next. But I guess we could actually start there. Unfortunately, with the whole situation going on right now, if you know, you know, with us Hispanic as a community, because I saw this quote that was like so true, that's like, if one person is going through it, we're all going through it. And let's just say we're going through it. Literally can't even travel anywhere. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest you educate yourself, just how I still have a lot of learning to do. But yeah, we're not traveling or going anywhere literally this whole year, which is crazy because last year we traveled twice in a year, which we had never done, just so that the next year we would go nowhere is crazy. And that goes to show you guys, it really matters who you vote for. And that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to get into politics, even though if you want to go band for band we can, but I'm just saying that's not what this platform is about. So yeah, so that's first off, or else that probably would have been breaking news at the end of this video, or probably at the end of Vlogmas, because that's typically how I do it. And I think I noticed this within me, like probably see, there's not like an exact time I can like pinpoint, but if I had to, it would for sure be like middle school or high school. Probably especially high school, because I had a pretty good middle school experience. More towards exiting high school and then college, because I went through a lot of like mixed feelings of like just like losing friendships and not knowing what I wanted to do and blah blah blah, you know, all that stuff. And it's crazy how as you get older, I feel like those types of things get more like intense, you know, because when you're a kid, you don't know anything, you don't know any better, you're just saying like, oh, I want to grow up. But in reality, when you're grown, it's like, no I want to go back to being a kid. But yeah, and if I had to talk about them separately, like with anxiety, I think this one's like the least, you know, intense, but definitely like back then I was definitely more like of an anxious person. Now I'm getting better at controlling it, and you know, like just like going with the flow, like everything's okay, you know, like you're gonna be fine. But I think it's just like a feeling that will always be there if you're an anxious person. But I don't know, and I also don't necessarily like look at it as a bad thing, to be honest. Like I almost feel like it's just another emotion, like sadness, you know, where you get it, you feel it, and it's okay. Like it's fine. You just have to work on it, and everybody is different. And you know, now with depression, I definitely obviously think that that's a little bit more intense. And definitely I could say like back then it was like really bad, because I literally remember, like, it doesn't matter whichever household I was, I know I would always go to my room and just like cry, and like that's how like I coped with my feelings, and I just let it out. And in a weird way too, I would just like sit in my room and like talk about it and like let it all out. And yeah, I would just do that. And now I guess you could say it's in a more healthier version. Like I'm sitting here and I'm able to like talk about these things, and I actually talk to you guys, and stuff like that. But, and I do have like my moments where I cry. I definitely cry less too, which again, I also don't think that's like a good or bad thing. Some people are just like emotional. Say how I've been able to just like turn that off. Like if I'm watching a movie and there's like a sad scene, I'll literally just sit there like I am able to control that, which is very scary because I also don't think, you know, you should be that intense with it. But that's what I'm saying. Like I now know, like, okay, it's okay if I'm feeling sad, like cry, let it out. Now that I also do think there's a time and a place, you know, whatever, but I guess you could just say I've gotten better at controlling my emotions. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to advise or tell anybody what to do. This is just my experience, my personal thoughts, but and what I've been through. And yeah, and I think a big part of all of this and why I'm talking about this is because one big key factor that I've also noticed within myself that's also like really good is that I, like, the best way I could explain it is that I feel so woke now, which I know probably sounds silly, but it's really not, because for the longest time, like, this is another thing, I'm gonna get vulnerable with you guys. Like, for as long as I could remember, again, I'm gonna try to explain this as best as possible, but I remember being woke up until like high school, when, like, again, I like shut down. Like, I used to live my life like naturally, freely, up until a certain point in my life, and I just like shut down, and it was scary. And then I guess you could say up until now, I feel woke again, if that makes sense. I don't know what the correct terms for that is. I don't know what even is that, but yeah, that happened, and I never explained it to anyone because also it's very hard to explain it. I don't even know if I'm even making sense, but I know it makes sense to me. And the reason why I realize that now is because it's what I've been saying all along, how I actually, like, you know, if I'm feeling happy in a moment, I actually feel things now, you know? Or, you know, if someone tries to get sly with me, like, I notice it. Or, like, I notice how people move. Like, if I walk into a room, I don't know, it's just little things like that that have made me realize. And I hope that I can like stay like this for as much as possible, you know, because I don't know how I lived my life all those years just being like down and about, you know, like, it's just, it wasn't okay. And mind you, all those years, and even now, I was by myself. Like, I haven't been in a relationship in a long time. And so it doesn't have, or maybe it does have to do with that, I don't know. But I've just always been the type of person that I love to be within myself, by myself. And again, sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it can be scary because it's like, who do you go to? Who do you talk to? You know, so now, granted, regardless if I'm with someone or not, that's why I've always felt inclined to go to you guys, or, you know, set up the camera and just hit the play button and talk, because I guess it is like one of those things where you don't feel like you're being judged or criticized or not heard, you know, little things like that. But yeah, and thankfully I've always had like the ability, if you will, because I don't want to get this confused with the whole woke thing. Like, I've always had the ability though, like if I walk into a room, I know if I don't want to be there, I don't have to be there. Or if I don't vibe with a certain someone, I'm gonna like remove myself, or little things like that. I've always been like that though, so don't get it twisted. Like I'm also not like you know, dumb, if you will, but I mean it and it's honestly like almost like a gift that I love and I wish we all had, but sometimes a lot of us don't have, because we don't realize, and it can still happen, you know, like if you're not meant to be in a certain situation or a certain relationship or a certain somewhere, or sometimes you don't realize it and you're like caught up in the moment, but you need to remove yourself from that, or remove certain people from your life, you know, little things like that. So thankfully I've always been good with that, and I've always been good with, you know, getting a good read on people and things like that. So thankfully I've always had that. So I think that's how I've also got around all these years, because you know, I'm like, and I think it was very instilled within me by my parents, and just myself too, because you know, you go through things and experiences and stuff like that, that trust, if I could like open up with you guys like fully, I would, but this would be also like an hour-long video. I actually don't even know how long we've been. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this in here, but like my lovely self-reflection. Yeah, definitely, because I've been doing YouTube for like a couple years now. I would say fully my second year. And this hasn't been as consistent as I wanted to, clearly because of other life obstacles and blah blah blah. I don't want to make excuses either, but I feel like I'm getting the hang of things better, and hopefully I continue to do so. I know, again, I still have a lot of learning and growing to do, and you guys are going to see that and hopefully are with me on my journey with that. Same thing, I guess I can update you guys too with college. It's also my second year, so that's why I've also been very busy. For those of you who don't know, I literally mentioned it on here and on my TikTok account, which by the way, I have two. I have my main one, which it's literally so embarrassing. It's just thirst traps, which I did not intend for it to be that. It just became that. And I have a following on there, and then I have a second account, which that is more like relatable stuff, which now that I'm here, honestly, can you guys please go follow it? I need like 5 more followers so that I can go live. I'm not trying to sit here and beg for followers. That's not me. That's never gonna be me. I'm just asking so that I can go live on there, because it's quicker, it's faster. I can actually have like a live audience for you guys to chat and like put in your 2 cents. As we're here, this video is gonna take like years to upload, and if you guys barely comment, no, but it's fine. I know the wave right now too is like on TikTok, so whatever. But yeah, back to the whole self-reflection. I think the main thing that I want to talk about is this in particular, and how if you compare me from when I started YouTube to now, I think I've definitely have grown a lot though. And I think that is awesome, because you know, you always want to see progress, not just within yourself, but with the work that I put out and the stuff that I make for you guys. But I think first and foremost, you know, I have to be mentally well, and this is something that I've never liked to talk about. I think that's why I'm also taking really long to talk about it, because it's just very personal, but that's clearly what this video is about. And is clearly something also that I know a lot of other people have dealt with or deal with. And me personally, I'm not a doctor, so I'm also not trying to like self-diagnose myself, but I have a feeling, if you will, that I have struggled with depression and anxiety. And it's something that also is not very looked upon in the Hispanic culture. It's very almost frowned upon, if I dare to say, because they'll literally look at you and be like, bro, be so for real. When no, like I am being for real, and it's true. This is how I feel. This is a real thing, and I don't know why it's so like taboo to talk about when it's literally something that should be talked about more. And thankfully it is. But yeah, this is just like a little piece of me that I want to get vulnerable and open up to you guys with. Now I don't know if I still deal with it or not. I feel like the best way I can explain it is just like phases of where I go in and out of it. Like right now, I feel like I'm not in it, if that makes sense. And I know that's probably like not how it works, but at the same time, I know like I think there's also like certain situations or moments that I'm in that like trigger it. So it's a very complex thing to talk about, especially like me not knowing the correct terms or like definitions of what it actually means and stuff like that. But I definitely know there's something. Let's get started. So first off, I want to say, if you guys notice why Vlogmas day 6 or 7, ironically 6, okay, were not posted, was literally, I forgot that YouTube, for some reason, like when it comes to posting, it takes forever. Like low key, doesn't matter if it's like a 2-minute video or a 20-minute video. Like my video from Vlogmas day 5 didn't post until Sunday. So that would have been Vlogmas day 7. So I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. It kind of worked out though, because I didn't really have anything for Vlogmas 6 or 7 because it was the weekend and I was out with friends and family. So yeah, sorry about that. But that's why I'm here today, to explain that and clear that, and it'll probably happen on weekends moving forward. So if you see some numbers missing, it's not my fault because YouTube takes forever to upload. I'm just kidding. No, but it low-key is too, because I didn't know what to film or anything like that. But anyways, that's the first thing. The second thing is, like you guys can see by the title, is I'm basically, this is gonna be like a little video diary, if you will, because we have a lot to catch up and talk about. So anyone that has been here with me up until this point, honestly, I can't thank you more than I already have. If you guys even read my bios, I always try to thank you guys and leave a little message for you guys. If you just follow me on my socials, same thing, thank you. And there's nothing really like breaking news that I'm gonna say in this video. This is more so just like, you know, a diary type of thing that I want to do with you guys whenever, or if I ever need to like update you guys or catch up with you guys on something. I'm gonna end with reading one of these. I was gonna start with reading one of these, but I think I'll just end with it. This was a gift that I got for my birthday because, again, I was not woke then. And this actually made me like super emotional because I love gifts like this. And what's crazy is that my mom could even tell, and I didn't even have to say anything to her. And she got me this because it's like she knew her daughter. So that's like very sweet. And it literally says, daughter, for read this when frustrated, troubled, anxious, sad, happy, or grateful. So it looks like this. For anyone wondering, you can literally get it like off Amazon. So I think we'll go for a grateful one. And they're literally like color coded, so that's how you know which one to pull. So I'll get one of those because, you know, it was just the season of giving thanks. So let's see what it says. It says, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 1071. Period. No, and literally, regardless if you're like a religious person or not, but it's literally so true. And it's crazy because yesterday was Sunday and I felt like I did my due diligence. How do you say that? My due diligence. No, but obviously you should always wake up and seriously like give thanks that for the day and when you go to sleep. But yeah, some of these are like religious based, some of them are not. But yeah, regardless, I think this is very sweet and like personal, and like I literally just like tuck them back in and you just grab another one for when you're feeling XYZ. But yeah, you guys, that is everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my little diary talks. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this or what I should call this. But thank you guys for allowing me to open up and be vulnerable. If you guys like this, smash that like button. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 9, hopefully. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.